Good morning. This is Gina, and I am coming to you live from Medford, Massachusetts. What a blessing it is to be here and with you. And I am knowing that wherever you are, we are exactly where we need to be. Right here, right now, present in the presence. Today's message is all about that. Today is the body divine. We are talking about being in a place of understanding that we're exactly who we're meant to be, where we're meant to be, how we're meant to be, regardless of how mixed up it seems in any given moment. That power, that light, that love, all that is always there. And it's up to me to remember that I am that conduit, that each one of us is a conduit of that. So thank you for joining me from home, wherever you are today, wherever you are mentally, physically, and spiritually. Know that you are home and that we are absolutely so grateful that you joined us today. So we are going to know as we take a breath in this moment, love always finds a way. See, that's why to me this week I needed this song. There's a lot that doesn't look like I want it to. Even this morning, there were some technical snafus that I know are complete and done. But love always finds a way.
When you're losing your way, when it's too much to take, when your will is broken, I'm here. I can be your shelter, be your safe place to land. When your heart feels empty, I'm here. I have enough love for both of us. I know it's gonna be okay. I have enough love for both of us. And love always finds a way. Love always finds a way. If the future's unknown and the path's overgrown, I will cradle your soul. Don't fear. Don't fear. Though you don't have the answers, may not know where to go, but what you need is inside you. Just trust, and you'll know. You'll know. I have enough love for both of us. I know it's gonna be okay. I have enough love for both of us. And love always finds a way. Love always finds a way. I'm your light in the storm. I'm your call to come home. I'm your beacon of hope. You can count on me. You can count on me. I have enough love for both of us. I know it's gonna be love for both of us. And love always finds a way. Love always finds a way. I know it's gonna be okay. Love always finds a way. I know it's gonna be okay. Love always finds a way. Love will always find a way. Love always finds a way. It's gonna be okay. Love always finds a way. Hold my hand, it's gonna be okay. Love always finds a way. It's gonna be okay. Love will always find a way. Love always finds a way. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. Love always finds a way. It's gonna be okay. I know it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I know. Love will always find a way.
Yes, love always finds a way. And sometimes that way is straight and narrow and it's easy to see and understand, and it's the way that I'd like it to look. And sometimes it's just not. And we're going to talk about that today. But before we do, we're going to do what makes everything go with the flow. We're going to pray and note. We are going to be right here, right now, in the presence. And we're going to know that there is only one power, one presence, one love, one light. That it is exactly where I am, where each one is. That this one power, this one light is more than enough for everything, always. And when I remember that I am that I am presence, when I remember that, and then we as a group remember, magic happens. So today I know magic is happening. Regardless of what happens on the outside, the inside is where seeds are planted and life takes root, birth, and flourishes. So today is going to flow in that just in complete transformation. Because what we know is what we become. And in that becoming, right here, right now, all is well. And I declare that, and I know that, and I set it free for our time together, joyfully, lovingly, gratefully. Set it free. I say thank you, blessed be. And together we say, and so it is. And our beautiful Barbara is actually going to be doing our reading for today. So our topic today, again, is the body divine. And Barbara is going to do our reading today on that topic.
Am I ready to go? Okay, well, I'm very happy to be here and very happy to do the reading. And I love the title of this talk, The Body Divine. And as I thought about it, I thought about what a great manifestation God made in creating this whole universe. This universe with its beautiful mountains and the seas and the trees and all the things that are in it, especially on this Earth planet. But of course, there are probably many planets outside of this Earth area that may be alive and well with many different living things. And then as I went to look for things to read about the body divine, I just kept thinking about how each one of us is that body divine. We have that unique individualization with God, and that we are perfect, whole, and complete. And what really makes it so, especially so, is how we use our consciousness. And I had planned to read something else until this morning when I read in the book that I read every morning, 365 days of Ernest Holmes. And it started with this: light sings through me in radiant ecstasy. And I thought, oh, this is going to be good, and this is what I'm going to read. Now and always I recognize that I live, move, and have my being in God. I am part of universal mind. I am one with universal substance. All the qualities and all the wealth of good and desirable things that exist in universal mind are mine now. I perceive, accept, and experience them. I know that all the beauty of form around me is the garment of God. I know that the present manifests in my heart and mind is God expressing within that garment of form. As I feel this presence more and more, I hear the song of joy deep within me. Always when I'm still, I hear the song of light pouring through my consciousness. I have only to listen, for it is always there. With this knowledge comes the assurance that the loving presence is always here, closer to me than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. I have nothing to fear. I feel this loving embrace around me, and I know that it is not only a song of joy, but a song of love and protection. I tune out all negative ideas and tune in with the sunshine of life, with brightness and laughter, with the joyous presence that is life itself. I now lay aside anxiety, all striving, and let the law bring my good to me. I joyfully anticipate greater abundance, more success, more joy. Peace fills my heart, and life sings through me in radiant ecstasy.
And so it is. The body divine. What does that mean? What does that feel like? What does that really feel like when we take a breath and we go within on that one? What a beautiful reading that was, Barbara. Thank you for that. You know, really being in that place. And one of the lines I loved was, the song of life is pouring through my consciousness. Think of that. The song of life itself. How powerful is that? So in, you know, that knowing of the song of life, let's listen to Spirit is Alive in Us by Denise Rossier.
Shining bright through us right here. Spirit, you're the love in us, reaching out with every touch. Spirit, you're the voice in us, rising up beyond a hush. Yeah. We feel it, we feel it. Yeah. We see it. Believe in your spirit. Spirit, you're the breath in us. us right here. Spirit, you're the love in us, reaching out with every touch. Spirit, you're the voice in us, rising up beyond a hush. Yeah, we feel it, we feel it. Yeah, we see it, believe it. We feel it, we feel it, we feel it, reveal it. We see it, believe it, it's spirit. We see it, believe it, it's spirit. See it, believe it, it's spirit.
We see it, we feel it, believe it. Spirit is that breath in us. You know, when I treat, one of the things I say most often is right here, right now, both as the breath and the breath. And it reminds me to be present. And when I can do that, when I can really connect and be present, it's kind of like putting on glasses when you need them. Suddenly there's a focus that wasn't there before. People, well, most people don't wear glasses just because they look good. Most of them is functional. And that's what Spirit does for us. Prayer, these spiritual practices, coming together in spiritual community, gives us that opportunity to put on those spiritual lenses and look at things differently. Because when I look at things differently, when I see things differently, and when I see them differently, they change. My perspective towards the world that I'm in. It's not what's actually there, it's what I'm looking at. There's beauty all over the world, but am I looking at the beauty or am I looking at chaos? The seeming chaos. This week especially has been a lot. And I'm not going to lie to you, I had a hard time this week. I'm like, how do I sit down and talk about oneness? How do I sit down and really be in a place of knowing that there is no duality, that there is only God, there is only Spirit, when all I see is division? So that's where I have to start, because if there's one word you can use for me, it's authentic. I didn't even introduce myself in the beginning because we were moving fast, but I am Gina, and I am blessed to be the spiritual director of this beautiful, loving community. And I am here and in this teaching because it is true. I am in this teaching because when I walked through the doors, the antenna within me, that is the body divine, knew I was home. Now, it wasn't these doors, but it was the doors of CSL, Centers of Spiritual Living, where we teach religious science. We teach, we are here teaching what I call truth. Now, how do you know if it's true? Everybody claims a truth. To me, truth is something that it's not told, it's felt. You can tell me anything you want. You can tell me it's nighttime outside right now, and I'm going to know that it's not. I don't care how you try to convince me, I'm still knowing it's not. I am not in Alaska. It is not dark outside. I know what I know. That's truth. What do you know? Our body, when we allow it, can be that connection. When we are centered, when we have our spiritual lenses on, when we are in the right place at the right time, we know that there is no duality. Now, if you're new to our teaching, what that means is there is not spirit and something else. There's not. I know that. There's not a question in my mind. There is spirit, is the creator of all there is, was, and ever will be. It's not different today because I didn't like what happened a couple of days ago. It's not different tomorrow because something else might happen. It's never different. There is never spirit in something else. One creator of everything. Whatever you pray to or choose not to, it's still created sun, moon, stars, and everything in between. I know that. And I have lived my life in a place of faith. And it has saved my life more than I can say. And I don't even mean just physically, I mean emotionally, spiritually. You know, we went through this month of being in that place of understanding that the body is about balance. That when we want happiness, it doesn't just show up looking like, okay, I had a fun day today. It takes a balanced life, physical, spiritual, emotional. It's every aspect of us. It's being in tune with us, knowing that, you know, if I'm not connected to something bigger than me, then I'm not connected. You know, if you were hanging something on the wall, you connect it to the wall because the wall is bigger than what you're hanging. Sometimes I forget to go back to simple things. And to this week, what hit me more than anything, really hit me, was being in the flow. Now, I actually got this like slap in the face because sometimes that's what I call a spiritual awakening. Just those little moments of duh, you know, and I got that, you know, I get stuck sometimes with things I want my way and I'm in resistance. And we know what we resist persists. So when I am against anything, there's a stuckness there. And I was reading, it was actually the Science of Mind magazine, and it dawned on me. You know, I've been talking about non-resistance for years. I've understood the concept that I need to not be clenched up, and when I'm fighting against, I'm not allowing it. It's just that simple. If I'm holding on too tight, I'm not allowing anything good in. So I get that, and it dawned on me: if spirit is all there is, and I am part of that one, and there is an infinite flow that is the breath of me and everything else. If I'm not in the flow, it's not God's fault. It's not spirit's fault. Electricity isn't there for you, but not me. If I didn't plug it in, whose fault is that? And it hit me. If there is a blockage in my life, if something is not going the way I want to, physically, spiritually, emotionally, whose fault is that? And I didn't say it in a way of blaming myself because I've really been working on that witnessing versus shaming and blaming because I've lived my life there unconsciously. It wasn't on purpose, but it was the way that it was. So how do I heal it? How do I really let go and let it flow? How do I witness it with non-resistance? So that was Friday morning that I had this, and I love this. The Buddha says our sorrows and wounds are healed only when we touch them with compassion. The secret of health for both mind and body is to live the present moment wisely and earnestly. And he didn't know Ernest Holmes, but maybe he did. So it's really being in that place of compassion when we witness things like that. Because compassion opens, resistance blocks. So, how many times in our lives have we known there must be change? There's something that's not working and we get frustrated and we do more of it. If you're in the snowstorm or if you're in a rainstorm and you're in mud or you're in the snow and you rev those tires again and again and again, and you're doing more of the same and you get more aggravated, and that resistance puts you deeper and deeper. That blockage is more and more. You know, spirit is like the whole swimming pool. Why are we in the corner? Why am I facing the corner, not going anywhere? There's a whole pool. I get to choose what I pay attention to. So I really get this, and I contemplated this for hours on Friday morning, and then I turned on the television. And this Supreme Court ruling was there, and all that peace, all of that love, all of that wisdom seemingly dissipated. And I'm not laughing in the sense of what, by any means, I am telling you that I was human. I was human. And I felt the whole range of human emotions. And I also know that the body is mental and spiritual. The body is not to be denied. We are to affirm that the body is a combination of spiritual ideas harmoniously expressing life. Now, the body isn't just the body as far as our physical body, but it's also our body as far as who we are as a group. Whether that be a group of women, whether it be a group of, in a country, in the world. It's mental and spiritual, and it is not to be denied. We are to affirm that body is a combination of spiritual ideas harmoniously expressing life. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. So I was looking at this, and I certainly read this quote, and that didn't come to me. Let me tell you, there was none of that looking at that. And I'm like, nope. And I put it all away because I couldn't even get out of my own way. And as time in the day went on, I shut off the news because nothing good was coming from it. I kept seeing my pattern, and I don't know if any of you do this, but my pattern when the news is really bad is I keep watching it, waiting for it to change. Like, I think something's going to happen. Like, this is so outrageous. It's so bad that I think that something's going to break, and all of a sudden, night is going to be day, and dark is going to be light, and they were just kidding. I keep waiting for it to just flip. And that is not a conscious thing. That is the hope within me that's waiting for something. And it wasn't happening. And I've learned the pattern. And I know what it does to me. So I just shut it off and I watch something fun. Well, after being on Facebook and scrolling and putting whatever and really being in a place of, I'm not going to lie, I am far from perfect. Mark Nepo says, how do we begin to then inhabit our destiny of being? I believe it starts with the reverence and listening, with honoring every bit of life we encounter. Honoring every bit of life we encounter. So we've been encountering some life this week. There's a lot that's happening, and it's been happening. I mean, we just keep, from the pandemic to the politics to war to everything that seems in this world dualistic, that can throw in our face that, you know what, there isn't some order here. It's all just havoc and chaos. It makes no sense. And then I go back to my spiritual lenses. And I'm not going to lie, I started going back to that because everything else brought me to despair. And when I'm in that place, I've learned that when I am really at that place, that I am spinning, if I have to, I take a nap. Because if the only thing I can do to stop the resistance is to sleep or cry, I do that. Because whatever it takes to stop going in the wrong direction, then I can start again. And yesterday I watched almost nothing, and I was very mindful. Again, not because I want to ignore it, but because my perspective has to be right. I am not a victim. I'm not a victim in any way, shape, or form. I know that I am divine. Each one is divine. That means each one of us has freedom. All I kept thinking about was Nelson Mandela. He was in a jail for years and then became president. That doesn't happen in natural order. It's just not the way the natural order works. But it happened. So what I see is not all there is. And at no point, unless I give it over, do I lose my freedom. And even then, it's because I gave it over. See, this body tells us how we feel. Are we paying attention? This is an antenna. This is, it is something physical that we are walking through. We are not stuck. We don't have to be. It's just we're walking through. Rumi said the body itself is a screen to shield and partially reveal the light that is blazing inside your presence. Anger is not the light he's speaking of. I'm just saying. It can lead to shining, but it can block it as well. Apathy is toxic. Giving up, toxic. Blaming, toxic. So what do we do instead? We get the opportunity to remember. And it's not always easy. The physical body exists that the soul may function on this plane. The body is not unreality, quite the reverse. It's a divine and perfect reality when rightly understood. Ernest Holmes says, when rightly understood, the physical is the avenue that the soul works through. It is divine. We are those change agents. I watched the Jackie Robinson movie, probably for the 10th time last, number 40, what is it, 42. I look back on those times and I think how insane it is. Like, I can't even fathom living at a time where, it was outrageously, the inequality was outrageously allowed. It's still there. We saw that Friday. It's still there. Whether it's men and women, whether it's different countries, whether it's still there. We're still practicing this game of separation on the outer. And what it takes is on the inner, being in a place of knowing that all just houses the soul. That our divinity, the best of us, is always untouched. So we have these things called intuition. We have these senses that we know when things are right or things are wrong. It's not a coincidence that I spent the morning contemplating flow on the day that I got that news. It's not a coincidence. It's not about, I absolutely love Mother Teresa and what she stood for. She was against nothing. She said, if you have a peace rally, I'll come. But I will not go against the war. Because resistance is futile. You're giving power to what you don't want. What we resist persists. Perfect example. My weight. All of my life, I have fought to lose weight. And anytime I lost it, I found it again. And I'm in a place of awareness in a different way. I'm loving myself for who and where I am, or practicing that. I'm not going to say I am always, but I hear myself, the words that I've said, the words that I used to say. And I think about that and I think, how could I allow good in? How do I allow good to happen when all I've done is disparage myself? Even physical pain. Well, if you lost weight, you wouldn't feel that. Like, as if I earned it. At least as if I deserved it. And I claimed it for years. And I think often of myself, and this might be, who knows, that might be psychosis, but I think of myself at different years. And I think of her, and I think, that poor kid and what she went through. Whether it was things that happened in my life or things I said to myself because it was what I was taught to say to myself. I think of myself, the year my sister transitioned, it's 15 years now, but I was the one that took on, my nephews and the family and everything that went with it. And, it was all on me. And I think of her now and I think, oh, the poor thing went through, I know it with everything else in life. And by separating that and looking at myself that way, it allows me a layer of compassion that I'm just now learning how to give myself in real time. And I say that and I could cry. Because how many of us do that? Block ourselves off from the sunlight of the Spirit as the divine children that we are, as the absolute infinite possibility, as that shining light that is blazing inside. How many of us block ourselves by the old clutter? I want flow in every area of my life. I want that divine flow. Because you know what I know about divine flow? It's easy. It's easy. I love that. What if it was easy? What if it was easy? And that's everything in life. What if it was easy? We can ask ourselves that question. What would it look like? What would it feel like? So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes right now. If you're, of course, not driving and you're able. And ask yourself, what message does your body want you to know right now? With the open, loving heart that is spirit, what does your body want you to know? And really be in that space of allowing. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Just think about how long has it been since you've really checked in? How often do you stop and breathe and ask, what do you want me to know? Pain is a clear sign that something is going on. Emotional, physical, all of it. How many of us just take a pill to cover it and keep going? And I laugh saying that because decades of that, doing it anyway, not even thinking about, is it mine to do? Should I really be doing this? Is it the healthiest thing for me? Would I want someone else to push themselves at the level that I am? Or even acknowledging that there's someone else that might be able to help or do this? Or even if it needs to be done. All that we need, we were born with, and we spend a lifetime forgetting. It's so important that we take the time to honor our vessels. It can be as simple as if the ladies maybe put makeup on that you haven't put on in a while. Honor your body. Buy a new outfit. Even men, how often don't even look in the mirror? Some of them. I know my husband's very mineral. Some are very higher on there. But my husband barely even he's lucky he looks in the mirror in the morning. Really look in your eyes and know that that light is spirit. If you don't see the light, spend more time with spirit. Because I've never met anyone that's eyes shine that wasn't that conduit of spirit. So we get to be that. or we can get caught up in what we see. We can get caught up in what we think we need to do. We get caught up in the outer and we suffer. We suffer anger, resentment, frustration. We suffer. There is a way to reclaim what is mine. Nelson Mandela more than reclaimed anything he could have ever imagined, but he didn't do it alone. And he didn't come out as president. It happens in divine timing. You are divinely appointed. Spend some time thinking about that. What am I here for? What do I choose? What do I choose? Not what's happening and being reactive to life. What is mine to do? When we stand up and move forward together in power, amazing things happen. Mountains move. When we get angry, we just fight. Inside, outside, and it affects everything. So I encourage you this week, really be in a place of recognizing that your body is a spiritual conduit. Honor it in how you dress, in what you say about it, in the movement you make. Don't push past the point of comfort to the point that you're exhausted. I'm not saying you don't push yourself. Of course we do. We want to be our best. But what is our best? When you've spent so many years out of whack, sometimes it takes years to know. It takes time to come back to alignment when we put on those spiritual lenses. And our spiritual practices will tell us. So I encourage you, really listen. Remember who and whose you are. Remember that all healing is divine, and it begins within you. Every aspect of your life, infinite possibilities are here now. Let's choose to use them. Let's choose to use them. And our affirmation for this week is, I listen to my body, knowing it is speaking as divine. And I ask you all to say it with me. I listen to my body, knowing it is speaking as divine. So let's be in that space of power. Let's be in the flow. Let's let God be God, knowing that there is nothing, that divine freedom within us gives us the strength, the direction, the focus to move mountains. Let's do the next right thing. Instead of being against, let's know what we're for. And to do the next right thing that's mine to do. That's not overwhelming. That's being present in the present. And it feels good. That's how we know when we're in the right direction. We feel good. So this week, let's practice the flow. Let's be there. Let's be in that. And just let go of the outer and know what the direction is. And do that next right thing. And I celebrate that for each one, knowing that miracles and magic, that things are changing for good. So I thank you for being here with us today, and I thank you for being part of this. And we actually have a workshop coming up after this. We have the beautiful, and I'm very excited to have Lisa Medley here with us today. So sustain divine connection. Come home to your body. And it's actually going to be online as well. So for those of you watching online, you can go to our We're going to do it in our room in Zoom. It's for right there on the bottom of the screen. You can take a snapshot. It's our fellowship room. You can find the link on our website, or this is the meeting ID right here. And I'm going to leave that up for a bit. And she's going to go through 3 ways to raise your body consciousness and thrive. And for those of you that are virtual that are going to be in the Zoom room, you can also, we're going to send you the packet. So even though you're not here, we'll make sure you have everything that you need. And yes, what is mine to do, Karen? Exactly. And it just, it always comes. It always comes. So we'll put that up again at the end. And we are at that time, and we are in that place of the law of circulation. Giving activates receiving. And I encourage you, if you've been blessed, to share, and you can actually share. I'll go through that after our sacred giving affirmation. So if you can say it with me, everyone. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. And again, that's going to be, you can use PayPal, or of course in person. It can be check or cash, but otherwise PayPal. And you can also text to give. And once you've set it up, it's always there. So this is divine circulation, knowing that what we give always comes back in amazing ways. And we are live on New Media Network at 5 p.m. Eastern Time every week. So we replay this on Sundays at 5 p.m. as well. And our the fellowship hall is via Zoom. This is how you can get into our workshop. Again, that divine connection within you. So I'm so grateful that you were here with us today. And we're going to pray before we end. And we'll, of course, close with a song. But I want to say thank you for walking with me through that inside and outside, and that knowing that even when it looks a mess, maybe I'm in a corner and I can turn around and there's a whole lot of space for me to go. And that it's not all mine to do, that I can let God be God and be in the flow and let spirit, let it be easy. So I am knowing that freedom and that wholeness as we settle into just right here, right now, this infinite power, presence, love, life, the allness of the universe and beyond. All there is, was, and ever will be that is right here, right now, a spirit. And I know that this one power is freedom that can never change. Spirit is unchangeable. All of those attributes that I am, that each one is power, peace, love, abundance, wisdom, joy. I claim that perfection right here, right now. I claim that wholeness, that beauty right here, right now. Knowing that there is nowhere that spirit is not. And I know that as I step into this day, this coming week, I know that I keep my spiritual lenses fixed through spiritual practices, through conscious contact with divine, letting the flow, simply allowing any seeming blockage to be released, letting go of the lesser for the greater, letting it be easy, allowing harmony, allowing the flow of all good right here, right now. I expect magic and miracles. I remember that there is no limit to divine, and I expect it right here and right now. So as I hand this off to the law, letting it do what it does, I am grateful. My heart is filled. That light is beaming. And as I know it of me, I know it of each one, that bright, bright light of divine, that untouchable space, is manifesting magic and miracles. And I say thank you and amen. And together we say, and so it is. So thank you for being here with us. Thank you for knowing truth with us. Thank you for being at CSL Greater Boston this morning, virtually, wherever you are. And I want to wish Karen and Chris. Chris is usually doing behind the scenes. So thank you. We appreciate you. And happy anniversary. We love you, and they do so much for us. And we're so grateful that they are online with us as well. So blessings and love to you all. And this week I encourage you, everyone that you see, everything that you do, everywhere in our lives, simply to ask this one question: what would love do now?
Just before you say something you can't take away, take a breath, then let it out. Try to think about what would love do now. Wondering if you should cross that line for good. Whatever you decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know that's real. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what will love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we die for love. In the end, that's all we know that's real. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do? Sing it from inside with me, y'all. What would love do now? Let me hear you sing it, people.
What would love do now?
Sing it one more time for me, y'all.
What would love
Do now. Thank you.